Um, so first of all, before we totally get into the call, I don't want to forget that this is Thanksgiving week. And I just want all of us to remind ourselves this is a time we're pretty amazing group of people in a pretty amazing spot with whatever challenges we have in our lives. We are so much more fortunate than so many other people in the world. And just to appreciate our where we are in the world and to truly give thanks for the opportunities that we have, the friendships we have, the groups of people that we get to spend time with. So today I wanted to, we're on skill number 2. Skill number 1, I will repeat, is putting your list together of people that you're going to do skill number 2 with, which is inviting. But I want to think about 3 different things today, and we don't have a lot of people on the call, so maybe we can just do some really fun role playing here. The things I want to talk about is the invitations. We have invitations for people to watch like a video or see a webinar or do something that's interactive but not live, not person. So there's that invitation. There's an invitation to come to an event, a small event, a big event, and invitation to a phone call with someone. So those are kind of 3 different kinds of invitations, I think. And in the invitation to watch something or come to an event or talk to somebody, there are 2 ways that you could go. You can be inviting them to look at Juice Plus or any of our products, the Tower Garden, whatever, or you could be inviting them to be looking at our business. And so a couple of things that I think are standard no matter what. And if you're starting from the very beginning of the invitation process, what we're looking at is that first piece, which is, I thought of you because, you know, something that you've got a commonality, something to start the conversation. But I think it's really important that somewhere between I thought of you because and your own experience of Juice Plus or the business, but before you get to, if I sent you a video, would you be open to watch it, that you ask at least 3 really good questions. I think that will cement their desire to really look at our opportunity, whether it's in person, on a video, in a webinar, on a connection call, but asking some questions I think are critical. And I think that so often people go, yes, I'm really excited about it. You send them the video, they never watch it because they weren't engaged enough to take the next step. So those couple questions in that conversation, it just helps you be more engaging. So what I really love to do is have somebody right now, you've got somebody that you know that you've been a friend with for a little bit of time, not a long time, but a little bit of time. You know a little bit about them. Maybe they are very active. They're very health conscious. Both of the couple, it's a couple, they both work. They seem to do well financially. And that's all you know. They're fairly health conscious. You don't know a ton about them. How would any one of you invite that person, say, to look at Juice Plus? What, just with that little bit of information, what might you do? Anybody?
So I know this is one of my things I'm really working on. But I know what I should do is to, just get in the conversation, thought of you because, and then ask them, when we talk, I know that you're really interested in health and love that, and kind of ask about that and, what they're doing, or, I know that you recently lost your job or, whatever, that to find that need, that you're looking for something, have you filled that? And then ask, would you be open to?
Yeah. And Leslie, I like the idea. You already kind of know they're health conscious. Maybe it's because you know that they work out. Maybe it's because they're trim and you see them eating salads every day. Maybe that's all you know. You don't know a lot. But I think starting with that question is, I get the sense that you're really health conscious. And it's something I'm passionate about. Would you share like the kinds of things you do to keep yourself healthy? That could start the conversation. And then they say something like, well, I work out, but I would really like to work out more because I'd like to work out more, but I don't have the time or I don't have the energy. There was some cards years ago that Mitra put out. I'm just remembering them. There were a series of questions. Oh, I got to look them up. It's like fed up. I think those were the acronym. But anyway, finding out. So if somebody said to you, yes, I love to work out, and you ask that question. So do you have enough time to do it? Do you have enough energy to do it? Can you find the time? Do you have enough energy? You know, some questions about it, that could take you there. But you want to keep this simple because it has to be duplicatable and it has to be something you can teach your people. But that's why it was a great way to start out, Leslie, is just, you know, a little bit, take the thing that you know a little bit about and have them expand on it. So I know that you've been working for this company for a long time and your husband has just opened up his own company. What's that like to own your own business? Like whatever little bit you know, ask a few questions and then you can say, you know, that's why I must have thought of you. Because you know, you mentioned that you are health conscious, that you like to work out, but you're not finding the energy. I don't know. It's funny that you came up in my mind around this. And I think I might have something that could create more energy for you. And then you would probably enjoy your workouts more. Would you be open to finding out what I do and then share your experience? Do you kind of see how I took that when you don't really know a lot about somebody, right? So just asking a few questions to expand on the piece you do know. That's it. That's all you need to do. So let's say you're inviting somebody to look at our business. Let's say it's a stay-at-home mom, got 2 kids, you know she's very health conscious, you've had the conversation. She loves to work out, she makes sure she does it every day, she does her smoothies, her husband has, you know, it works, but she is not contributing financially to the family, and you don't know if she wants to. So it's a 1-income family. And it looks like they're doing okay, but you don't really know. You don't really know. So what could the conversation look like there? Anybody? Call her up and, you know, I was thinking about you because, and what might you do with that one? Laura or Jesse, what might you do? Like, step out, try something. I mean, I know this is all new and you might be thinking, I don't know what to do. Think about what's possible.
I know Jessie cannot speak up because her husband is having a meeting in his office, and so she's listening by headphones.
Okay, perfect. All right. So Laura, how about you? Would you be willing to share? What might you do in that case? You know a little bit about the company, stay-at-home mom, 2 kids, and you'd like to, you love her energy. You think she's got a large circle of friends. You've never really talked about whether she wants to make money or not. What might you do with her, Laura, if you're open and willing to talk?
I really don't know what I would say.
No, zero. What question might you ask?
Is she interested in the business at all?
Okay. Is there a way that you could ease into that a little bit easier, maybe? Rather than talking right about the business yet, is there any questions that you could ask that would make that more self-evident? Yeah, Denise.
Well, you might start with just expanding on the thing that you know she does, which is she's a mom, right? And she loves taking care of her family. It sounds like she spends a lot of time putting a big effort into their eating. Like she makes them smoothies every day. I mean, that's not just like for me, that's not a super simple thing. So I would maybe ask questions about that. Like, wow, you really have you put a lot of effort into caring for your family and what they put in their bodies. Tell me more about that and how you got into that and what you noticed that does for your family.
I never would have thought to go down that road, but it's a great road, Denise. I really wouldn't have. I had a whole other thing in my head. So this is what's so fun about this. So let's say she tells you all these things. We don't need to go through all the answers. She tells them how it affects her family and she loves it and blah, 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 blah. How are you going to shift? What's the segue to talk about what we do?
I would probably say then something like, well, that's really interesting that's something that you've taken on for your family. Is that something that you've done in the past for other people?
Exactly. How would you expand that? I know it's so important for your family. Have you ever thought, it sounds like it's a passion to you. It sounds like you're passionate about it. Have you ever thought about taking that passion outside your family and share with others? And maybe she says, real quickly, she goes, oh my, I've told a ton of people, people don't want to change their health habits, Denise. They just don't. Let's role play this one, Denise. So I've shared it with my family. They think I'm a little crazy. It's too much work.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
I
Well,
give you the hint. It's too much work.
it's too much work. Okay. Well, you put a lot of energy into doing that for your family. What part of it is too much work?
No, the people say it's too much work.
Oh, the people say it's too much
when I share what I do and how it's affected my family, my friends say, yeah, you guys really are healthier than anybody I know, but it's way too much work. I'm not interested.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Well, that's easy. Yeah. I thought you meant she said it was too much work to share with people. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well, then goodbye. She does think it's too much work because people aren't listening to her because what she does is too much for them.
It's too much work. And I could say, wow, I can really resonate with that and understand that, because I had my own health journey, and I really, when I first looked at what was going to go into, or what people said that I needed to do, I thought, holy cow, I just don't even know if I can take that on or if I have the energy for it. But I found a really simple, easy way to make some of those lifestyle changes that didn't end up being a lot of work. Is that something, are you open to hearing about what that is?
Yeah, so you switch it to, first of all, she's already doing a lot of work with her family. You're going to use that to obviously introduce Juice Plus. But the idea that she's passionate about this, what if it was easy to teach people about health? That would be where I would go. What if it were easy to teach people about health, and you could have them, you could have your passion out there in the real world for helping other people and create a little bit of extra income? If it were easy to share with them and you could help change their lives, would be something you'd be open to, right? Just like that, that's simple. I see you have a passion. If you could share that simply with people and help them do what your family's done for the people that you love and create income, would you be open? I don't know. God, I never thought about it. Have you ever thought about creating income for your family as a stay-at-home mom? Is that now you can actually switch it to that conversation, the conversation about would she like to contribute financially to the family's wealth. Okay? So those are two situations, one business, one product. Let's say you are now going to invite somebody to an event. This is a whole other kind of invitation. What are some good guidelines to inviting somebody to an event? And let's say the event is, I don't know, let's make up somebody, Mitra Ray doing her talk on the microbiome. And somebody, they're health conscious, you've had conversations, they're health conscious, they take good care of their family. You've not maybe really talking maybe yet about Juice Plus. It's the beginning stages of inviting somebody that is health conscious for a variety of reasons to come see Dr. Mitra Ray. Knowing that you're going to ask a few questions before you jump into that invitation, what might you do?
Well, certainly making a phone call and be live with them, not just an email or a text.
If you can go live.
Yeah, kind of touch bases and see how they're doing, how their family's doing. And then you could say, I remember a conversation we had once when you said you were struggling with, XYZ. Is that, do you still find that's something you're struggling with, or have you found a good solution for that? And then help lead that into, there's a wonderful speaker coming to town that I really think that you would get a lot of knowledge from and enjoy. And she's really energetic. She's covers so many different aspects of things that you can do to help your family.
Yeah. Okay. So that's if you already know that they're struggling with something, that you've got a solution for them. What if you don't know if they're not struggling with anything? They're health conscious, the family looks pretty healthy, they look pretty vitality, we never know. A lot of times people are really struggling with health and we really don't know, especially with autoimmune issues and stuff. But let's assume everything looks good and you don't know if they're struggling with anything and you'd love to invite them to an event to see an amazing speaker. So here's some fun things that I might do. I might call up simply and say, hey, I know you're really health conscious. I know your family looks so healthy and I see the kids, the meals that my kids tell me that your kids bring amazing food to life, whatever it is that you know. If you don't know, you won't go that road. But if you can say a few things about what you know, I would say, do you know anything at all, in all the stuff you do to keep your family healthy, do you know anything at all about the microbiome? Because that is such a buzzword these days. I'd go right for it with something like Mitra. Like, do you know anything about it? And she may say no, or she may say, yes, I'm reading everything about it. I find it fascinating. That would be easy. Or I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know it was a buzzword. What is it? And then you get to say something like, oh my gosh, I learned that we have more non-human cells in our guts than we have human cells in our whole body. Basically, we are the motherboard for an entire civilization. Like, get them laughing, right? I mean, that would be fun. Get them laughing about it, right? So maybe it's somebody else who's just Dr. Paul Stricker, who is sports athlete, you know, and they've got kids, and say, you know, there's only a minor amount of pediatricians in the whole country who also focus on sports nutrition and athletic performance for children, and this is the guy, and I know your kids play soccer. What if he could give you some tips that, I don't know, could reduce injuries or give your kids the edge, or would that be something that would get you excited? Give them some tidbit that might spark something for them in the invitation, right? Any other comments there? Bonnie, are you trying to say something or just smiling? Because you're going to unmute yourself. Hang on. I can't unmute you, Bonnie, if you're trying. You have to hit your unmute button. There you go.
I would try to find a way not to be like over the top.
Yeah.
Because it would be, I'm like, I can't wait to, like, you know, look at her face and be there and listen, because microbiome is just so essential. And for people that haven't heard about it, it's a kind of like a foreign world, but it's, you know, just succinctly, it's a vital component to our immune system and total well-being. So
I like the way you started, Bonnie, with saying, I don't want to be over the top here. I am.
Yeah.
I don't want to be over the top.
Wow.
Now, growing up on somebody, but you can let them know how your excited is and then reserve it a little bit, because you don't want to say, you got to be there. It's the best thing ever. You're going to learn so much. You don't want to blast them while they can be there, but you can let them know you're trying to maintain some sort of non-throw up ability thing. Denise.
You know, it just triggered a thought for me when you said that. I was in a position the other day to be able to be the expert. I was the third party to be able to be the expert. But what it really just made me recognize right now is that even in that position, it would have been even more beneficial for me to have created an invitation for somebody to then step into the knowledge by being able to share a video with them, because I would have shown how to duplicate that for my team member. And I could have done just that. I could have had that conversation of, wow, I really recognize that you're wanting to make changes in your health. And it sounds like you have a lot of gut issues going on. Are you familiar, or have you been learning at all about the microbiome? And then instead of just like giving all of the information, just saying like, I just saw this amazing webinar on it, and maybe it would be something that you would find of value. Are you open to watching it?
Yeah, remembering the zip it. It's so hard when we know what we know. It really is difficult not to just tell somebody and expect them to accept it and say, oh yes, I want to get started right now. Because look at how long it took us to get where we are, and think about you specifically, Denise, how long it took you to even really say yes to looking at this.
Yes.
And how long you pushed it away. So getting back to that, we are not the experts, let somebody else. And if you can add the fun into it, like, you know, making us the mothership. It does blow my mind that we have more bacteria that are non-human than we do of our own stuff in our own bodies. That's crazy to me. And that's like a realization for some people. Just one thing, just tell them one thing that got you excited in the microbiome. Like, for the other thing for me that I'll do about the microbiome is, you know, I never understood the thing about craving. I kind of heard what you eat, you want more of, and that's the craving. And I never really understood why. But now I understood that because of this stuff that's going on in our gut, it's our gut that sends a message to our head that tells us what to eat. And when I learned that and learned why, and I didn't notice, I'm not saying the whole story of why the bacteria likes this food and that food. No, that this gut-brain connection is fascinating to me. And I learned it from this woman, and now it makes so much sense. So when I'm putting stuff in my mouth, I'm thinking about how I'm feeding my gut, so it'll tell me the right messages up here. Just, just something really, pick one thing, and share that. And then, so much more. Okay, so we are up to our 20 minutes. Our time is done. I'm going to stop.